One thing I really like to talk about is that sometimes this tool is criticized by maybe Buddhists or non-Buddhists. I mean, people who follow a contemplative tradition and feel that this is actually too academic. It is too intellectual, and it can lead to a lot of wrong views or misbehavior. And you kind of miss the point because you're not practicing the Dharma, you're just intellectualizing. It's much better to do meditation, to do retreat. But my thought, my take on this is the following. It's just a tool. And going into retreat, doing formal retreats, is just a tool. Those who criticize this tradition of debate, I mean, there's a point, because not everyone, I mean, everyone tries, I guess, to the best of their ability, but not everyone succeeds in making it a tool, using it to transform your mind, in making it part of your practice. So maybe there's a person here and there who become quite arrogant because they're so good, they're successful in their study, or who are only interested in intellectualizing. They're not really interested in practice as such, but just always intellectually kind of debating different aspects without internalizing them. I'm thinking it's quite difficult because it's so intense. To some degree, it always touches you and you internalize it. But I hear the argument. But I think on the other hand, there are also people who go into 3-year retreats and lots of long-term retreat. And when they come out, they're uptight and tense. And maybe also, whoa, I've done all this practice. You see, it just depends on the person. Can they use this tool effectively to make it part of their practice? And then it's extremely effective. Like I said, our practice consists of listening, reflecting, and meditating. And if you use the debate in that way to practice those three, it has a very profound effect on your mind. And what it teaches you is, well, first of all, to be open to others' ideas. Because you learn that whoever you debate with, even if they're not as good as maybe the best person in class, I mean, the person who's the strongest, you always learn something from them. They have certain ideas. And like I said, even their wrong views can teach you a lot. So there's anyone, you can learn from anyone, which really connects you with others on a social level. However, it's also very challenging. Challenging in the sense that, well, you need to control your emotions. It's interesting because what the challenger would try to do is also trigger certain emotions in you, right? And this is only allowed on the debate ground. It's not personal. I usually say this jokingly. What happens on the debate ground stays on the debate ground. You know, like it's not like you take it back to your room and you don't talk to each other or anything of that sort. No, it's nothing personal. So you use psychological tools. You maybe as a challenger, even though you don't really know the matter, but you appear very self-confident, kind of look down on them, right? Like, well, it's a little new for them when nuns do that, so I had to be a little careful how far I took it. But I watched my classmates, how they did it, and I basically imitated them. So, and that gets them, you know, like, so, and again, in my situation, when they treated me in a way like, oh, come on, what, forgotten again? Don't know? You know, I was like, ugh. So you have to control your emotion. You have to really learn to regulate, to control. Because if there's anger, you can't think clearly. You know, we know how the afflictions disturb our mind, destroy our peace of mind, but they also destroy our concentration. So, to be calm, relaxed, to be able to think clearly, you need to control your emotions. So there may be attachment. Wow, I just made this point and I just told them, "Ca," which basically means I got you. I got you to admit there was a contradiction. And if there's some bystanders, go like, whoa, wow, attachment right there. Arrogance. Yeah, I'm this good debater. Wow. So there's different emotions, attachment, negative emotions. Also competitiveness, right? Like oh, I'm really good at that. I thought I was much better than, competitiveness again, which is kind of like a resentment and attachment both. So resentment is there, anger, etc. All these emotions can arise depending on, and you try to trigger it in the other person. You're disrupting this other person, and in a humorous way, of course. But sometimes it doesn't seem as humorous, but it's great. It's all part of the process. And so you learn to remain calm, control your emotions, because without controlling your emotions, you can't do it. So keep calm. When you're debating, no matter how many people are there, which again helps your self-confidence. All these people watching you, you can just block them out. You can block them out and just focus on what's important, the person who's answering. So sometimes, as I said earlier, you start off usually just 2 people, but after some time, after about an hour or maybe 2, people start mingling. You don't stay with this one person, but you go to other groups, you form groups, and then sometimes you have more than one challenger, you debate together, you have 2 or 3 people answering or just one person. But the point is, in all these situations, so self-confidence, you develop self-confidence, the ability to hold your argument, no matter how they laugh about you, like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, you just ignore it. Okay, never mind, just go through it. And so it helps you to juggle, to handle both the cognitive challenge and the emotional, right? To not be carried away by your emotions, but also to keep on the topic. It's amazing. If you do this long enough. So going back to listening, reflecting, and meditating, right? We're supposed to not just meditate in our room. Our whole life is supposed to be our Dharma practice. And what does our whole life mean? It's noisy, it's distracting. We have to juggle different emotions arising on a daily basis. We have to juggle cognitive challenges. So in this way, the debate actually prepares us for that. But as I said earlier, also in terms of self-confidence, it's very beneficial. In terms of our connectedness to other people. So when we hear about the kindness of others, my teachers have been extremely kind to me, but so have my classmates. Each one of them gave me the opportunity to learn how to debate, but also to learn how to recognize my own faults, my own inconsistencies, my logical contradictions, all my, this whole mess of wrong views and so forth. They helped me to go through that and understand it, recognize it. And then, because of the intensity, of course, also of the debate, really your entire day is just this. Class, memorization, reading the scriptures, debate, and then from morning. So it's just the Dharma. No time for anything else. Maybe to grab a quick cup of tea and chat with someone, and that's it. So the Dharma is all around you, right? You sort of, have a problem. I'm the only nun. Poor me. Poor me. So difficult, my life. What they all do to me. And then one day, karma. No, karma. But it's all around karma. It's karma as well. So if I feel like they're treating me in a different way, well, what did I do in the past? Maybe, I was this arrogant person, kind of like, you guys. And I feel like I'm treated like that. I wasn't always treated like that, but I was very suspicious I was. So I always felt like, there. So anyway, the point is, the Dharma is all around you. It's like there's no escape. And slowly, you're able to integrate it. It becomes part of your life. You realize that however abstract a topic may be, you understand this part is actually relevant to me right now. It may not be as direct and straightforward, but still you recognize, I can take this on. I can actually use this in my life. And in that way, it becomes an amazing tool that shows you how to live the Dharma. I'm not saying I've lived the Dharma. I don't. I have all my afflictions. I have my self-centeredness, but still, it's helped me to make it at least some part of my life and see how and this is something we learn, make every teaching a personal instruction, because it is. So what is it that I can take now with me? What is it that is personally for me relevant, right? And the beauty is also, because of the debate, you remember years later what you've debated. You remember, not everything, of course, but in general, you don't easily forget. The Dharma stays present in your mind. If you just read it once or twice and discuss it with a person once, that's it. Probably after a week, it's gone. But through this method, it stays fresh to a certain degree. Of course, it's good to go over it again. Like our teachers keep saying, keep going through the text again. Read them from top to bottom again. And so that's what we do to refresh it. But then you remember some of the debates, and you now have the tool, even without another person, to formulate a debate in your mind and continue to deepen your understanding.